In the year 2847, humanity had finally achieved what was once thought impossible: contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. The discovery of faster-than-light travel unlocked the doors to a vast interstellar community known as the Galactic Concord, a coalition of thousands of species spread across hundreds of star systems. For decades, humanity marveled at its newfound place among the stars, eager to contribute and learn from their cosmic neighbors. But the honeymoon phase didn't last long. It began with whispers, subtle hints in diplomatic exchanges that humanity was different, too ambitious, too reckless, too destructive. To the elder races of the Concord, humans were an anomaly, a species whose rapid technological advancement clashed with their chaotic, self-destructive tendencies. While other civilizations spent millennia cultivating wisdom and balance, humanity seemed hell-bent on consuming resources, waging wars, and experimenting without regard for consequence. By the time the vote came, it wasn't entirely unexpected. The Galactic Concord convened an emergency summit on the crystalline planet of Lumora Prime, where delegates from every member world gathered to address the human problem. After weeks of heated debate, accusations, and pleas, the verdict was delivered. Earth would be banished from the Concord. Not destroyed. No, the Concord prided itself on its morality, but exiled. Humanity would no longer have access to interstellar trade routes, shared technologies, or diplomatic relations. Their ships would be barred from hyperspace lanes, their colonies dismantled, and their presence erased from galactic records. Earth, they declared, posed too great a risk to universal stability. When news of the decision reached Earth, panic erupted. Governments scrambled to respond, media outlets exploded with outrage, and citizens took to the streets in protest. But, amidst the chaos, one faction remained eerily calm: the United Space Initiative, USI, Earth's premier space exploration agency. Deep within their underground headquarters, Director Elena Vasquez stood before her team, her expression unreadable. "They think they can just kick us out?" she said, her voice low but steady. "They think we'll sit here and wait for them to enforce this edict?" Her second-in-command, Dr. Marcus Hale, adjusted his glasses nervously. "Director, if we act rashly—" "Act rashly?" Vasquez cut him off, slamming her fist on the table. "Marcus, do you know what happens when we lose access to Concord? Tech. Our economy collapses. Our colonies die. We're trapped on this rock with nothing but our own hubris keeping us alive. No, we don't wait for them to make the first move. We leave." The room fell silent. Leave? How could they possibly abandon Earth? Vasquez turned to face the holographic map of the solar system hovering above the conference table. With a wave of her hand, she zoomed in on a massive structure orbiting Jupiter, a half-finished megastructure known as the Exodus Gate. Designed as a contingency plan during the early days of interstellar diplomacy, the gate was supposed to serve as Earth's ultimate escape route, a wormhole generator capable of transporting entire fleets across unimaginable distances. "It's not ready," Hale protested. "We're years away from completing it." "We don't have years," Vasquez shot back. "If we stay, we're dead. If we fight, we're dead. But if we run—" She let the sentence hang, her eyes gleaming with determination. "We take everything we've built, everything we've learned, and we start over, somewhere far beyond their reach." The USI moved with unprecedented speed. Resources were diverted from civilian projects, factories operated around the clock, and engineers worked tirelessly to complete the Exodus Gate. Meanwhile, Vasquez authorized the evacuation of key personnel, scientists, and families deemed essential to humanity's survival. Entire cities emptied as millions boarded colony ships bound for the orbital staging area. As the final preparations were underway, the Concord made their move. A fleet of alien warships descended upon Sol system, their intentions clear: to ensure compliance with the banishment decree, but by then, it was already too late. On the day of departure, Vasquez stood aboard the command deck of the Erebus, the flagship of humanity's Exodus fleet. Below her, the Exodus gate hummed with energy, its shimmering portal stretching wide, like a tear in reality. Through it lay uncharted territory, an unknown region of space untouched by the Concorde's influence. "All ships report ready," announced Captain Liara Chen, her voice crackling through the comms. "Awaiting your order, Director." Vasquez hesitated, her gaze drifting toward Earth one last time. From this distance, the blue-green orb looked peaceful, oblivious to the turmoil raging across its surface. She clenched her fists, forcing herself to focus. "This is it," she said softly. Then louder, "Signal all ships, engage thrusters, take us home." One by one, the vessels of the Exodus fleet disappeared into the glowing maw of the Exodus gate. Behind them, the Concorde fleet arrived, only to find an empty system. Humanity was gone. Months passed. The journey through the wormhole was grueling, fraught with technical failures and dwindling supplies. Many ships never made it, lost to the void. But those who survived emerged in a new galaxy, a sprawling expanse teeming with possibilities. Under Vasquez's leadership, humanity established a foothold on a distant planet they named Nova Terra. It was harsh, unforgiving, and utterly alien, but it was theirs. Free from the judgment and interference of the Concorde, they rebuilt their society, learning from past mistakes while embracing their indomitable spirit. And though the scars of exile lingered, humanity vowed never to forget the lesson they'd learned. Survival required more than strength or ambition. It demanded unity, resilience, and the courage to forge ahead, even when the odds seemed insurmountable. For the first time in centuries, humanity felt truly free. And somewhere, deep in the recesses of space, the Galactic Concorde watched uneasily, wondering if they had made a grave mistake. Because banishing Earth hadn't ended humanity's story, it had merely rewritten it.